Right, welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United, right on the channel for United and football fans, the biggest and best fan channel in the United States. We are here talking about Man United's resurgence with one game after enjoying quite a few games over the last couple of weeks. We had an international break and we are now back. Our first game was home to Brentford, a team that always scores in the first 45 seconds. But United fans were a bit apprehensive. Is this going to be another decision that United made, as in not defending properly, but they found a way and got a result. Joining me today from the UK is the analyst, Vim. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Representing the USA is our director, Global Globetrotter of football, Devin from Tampa. How are you, mate?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me
Good,
on.
good, good. Right. Where will we start? We have someone coming in. Let me just let him in quickly. Who do we have? Knock, knock. Who is this?
Ten Hag.
That'd be great. That would be great if Ten Hag comes on the show. That would be absolutely
The
fantastic.
process.
That would be, mate. He could say whatever he wants to say. That would be fantastic for the show, for the channel. Right, let's proceed. So, prior to this game, there was a situation a few weeks ago where, for some reason, after the game against Aston Villa, 2 Sundays ago, it was presumed or assumed for some reason, it's like the whole world were looking forward to the office at Mayfair in London, where Man United hold the monthly meetings. The world was out there, BBC, Sky Sports, ESPN there, waiting to hear the news that Harry Ten Hag was going to be fired. I don't know where we in the world, the fans, were getting that news from that he's going to be fired on that Tuesday. But it's like when they went to Old Trafford, like, nothing came out of the meeting. They said, no, we don't discuss our meetings. What did you want to hear? They said, oh, we thought Ten Hag is going to. No, but even the fans were all looking forward to hearing breaking news, Ten Hag's been fired. But it's like some fans were disappointed. The media were kind of disappointed he wasn't fired on that day. I don't know. I'm going to jump in with Devin. You saw the situation. I mean, yeah, in the midst of what things were going on in Tampa. But why was everyone so consumed that United were going to fire him at that meeting?
It's pretty much it's an issue that I have with the media, especially the way that they portrayed Manchester United. It was almost as if they were trying to sit here and say they had this inside scoop and they knew that this was going to
Yes,
happen and whatnot. And it turns out it didn't. And it just pretty much this is what they all expected. It's like they were trying to pressure United into doing it,
yes,
and it did not happen. Now I can tell you this right now. I personally expected it to happen.
right,
And it was solely because of the fact that I just started to believe that he's not the guy to have us finishing in top four.
right. Which is
When it didn't
understandable.
happen, it's like, all right, well, just have to keep going with it right now. But
Right.
what people also don't realize, this meeting had been scheduled from a long time ago. So like the media
Yes.
portrayed it as if this was scheduled just to discuss Ten Hag's fate.
That is where a lot of people did not know.
And that was something else where I was just like, nah, that's not right. But do you know how it is? Every single thing with United, they all love to speak on it, and it's like
Mm,
one thing that I find very interesting on the media note. Arsenal just lost, and you're not hearing a peep about it. Man United were down at halftime, and the headlines were everywhere, getting written already, and everything as well too.
it really is sad. It
And
really is
so
sad.
it's just like it's almost as if the media hopes for United to lose, so they can write up all these
Yes,
articles, have it posted
yes,
up right away, everything
yes,
too.
yes.
And then they win. It's just like, well, we got to rewrite something. Just do the basic, whatever.
Oh yeah, and
But,
it's
but,
quite
but the
it's quite
second that they
sad.
lose, they're ready to attack. They have their pre-planned scripts, everything already set up there as well.
Yeah,
So
copy and paste.
that is my issue with the media as well. Going back to the meeting, whatever the meeting was about, I think they have to disclose it anyway because they're on the New York Stock Exchange. And so just a routine
Right.
meeting discussing whatever else. I think
Yeah,
the biggest news out of that whole thing was probably the Sir Alex news.
yeah. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Let me jump to Vim quickly. Vim, we were all in the chat and a lot of expectations. The fan channels were going wild. I was, looking at my phone at work like, there's no breaking news that Ten Hag's been fired. Where was your thought that office, that meeting, that Man United meeting in
Hmm.
London Mayfair?
The thing is with that monthly meeting, I didn't know they were meeting every month in Mayfair.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's a standard thing for these guys. But the media has caught onto the story that it's all about Ten Hag, and that's probably what's on everyone's mind because we were doing so badly up until that point
Mm.
that they thought, right, the biggest story coming out of Manchester United is about Ten Hag getting sacked. And that's what everyone wants to read about. No one wants to read about, oh, let's discuss the stock price of Man United this moment, or how many shirts have we sold? You know, they're not interested in that mundane stuff. So yeah, the thing that was popping up in everyone's feed, including mine. Oh, they've someone's walked into the meeting at Mayfair. Um, what's his name?
Beresford,
The Van,
Ashford,
yeah, the Van Dam guy. What's
Wilcox.
his name again?
Who? Verada.
PSG boss. Yeah, Barada as
Oh,
well. But
are you talking
what's his name?
Omar Akali?
No. The guy that used to run PSG who made it
Oh,
big again.
I know who you
Nasir?
mean.
The Van Dams. Jean
I know who you. I know.
Jean something. Anyway, he
Jean-Claude
was
Blanc.
there. Jean-Claude Blanc. That's it. So he turns up, and someone's on Twitter saying, "Oh, Jean-Claude Blanc's has arrived." So, something big's going to happen. I think it's there's a lot of clickbait. People are just waiting for something to happen, and it never happened. Tuchel is now off the unavailable.
That even made people even more upset.
Yeah, well, yes, yeah. If for people that wanted Tuchel as the next manager, so there aren't that many candidates left. Well, there's a couple floating around, and the stories are still out there.
Right.
But yeah, it didn't happen.
Right.
It didn't happen. As I'm sure some guys here are quite happy. I can see one happy face there in front of me.
Let me introduce Houston Red Army, the Soul Man, Mr. Positive, representing United States. Joe, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Not
How
too
we
bad,
doing?
not too bad. We started from the big Tuesday 2 weeks ago, where everybody was expecting Ten Hag to be fired from the Mayfair office. I mean, news from the Mayfair, even though it was the international break. So we're saying, who even said he was getting sacked? Why did we think he was going to get sacked? Because of our bad results? I mean, they had the meeting monthly, and everyone camped outside the office like breaking news. And when there was the crickets, people get disappointed or upset.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and call out everybody that is above the age of 30. Every single one of us grew up in a world that did not have the internet and then did have the internet. So I feel like most of us should be very well skilled in how to navigate the internet. We can't be navigating the internet like a bunch of 60-year-olds and just reading and believing everything that we see.
Mm-hmm.
It's understood that we are a cash cow for the media.
Definitely.
And tabloids sells more than anything else in the world. Rumors, misinformation, disinformation, it's clear. But we just clearly had too many fans in this from this club that were not good enough. We are asking for the players to be better on the pitch. We also should look at the part we play as fans and how our club is discussed in the media and how our club is seen in the media. So if you fell for the okie doke, right, then hopefully it's a learning experience. But hey, guess what? It's just the beginning of the season. It's not going to stop. They're going to be running stories left and right. Everybody knew like this thing was supposed to be a normal scheduled thing. But the fact that the media kept that out, I mean, and I'm going to say it's not even just the big guys. It's not even the Skies and the TNTs. A lot of our clickbaity YouTubers were doing the same thing. They know this was a scheduled meeting, right? Yeah. Especially in the 2-week window, the 2-week international window. There's nothing else that can generate more clicks than Manchester United. So I would hope that people moving forward use a bit more discernment when they out there raw dogging the internet.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's
I think
So,
I think another issue as well,
mm,
where it's like you can have reputable news outlets,
hmm
like The Guardian, having people that are putting out posts saying talking about like, oh, we have an exclusive source that says Ten Hag will be sacked
exactly.
after the
That
FA Cup
source
final.
word, source.
We all know exactly which writer I'm speaking about with this one too. The same one who criticizes Kobe Mainu like all the time as
Who
well.
is it?
Jacob Steinberg.
Yep.
Steinberg.
He said, man,
He's the same one that came out with the exclusive story that Ten Hag will be sacked right after the FA Cup final, just so he could claim to be the first one to break it.
yeah.
And
Let
but
me,
and this is from
Jacob Stanberg.
yes, and this is from the Guard. I would say argue that the Guardian is a credible news outlet.
it is a
Would you
credible ad,
disagree?
but they're just stupid.
But the fact, and then it doesn't happen, and there's no repercussions for it, and they try to just get
Exactly.
on like it's just buried in the past like that. So
Yeah.
when you have credible news outlets that are doing that as well, and there's no repercussions for it, like going back to what you're saying, Joe, it's like yeah, you should be able to navigate the internet, but at the same time, you should know what's credible and what's not.
True.
And so we've all
But
argued that that's a reporter from a credible news outlet, and he still posts up stories for them right now. Nothing
Hey,
happened.
The thing is, how you don't know
thank you for that, Devin. He's now been
if he's
muted.
in Old Trafford or wherever, where the story's breaking. Because I
mm,
believe that Laurie Whitwell is, and he's
from
quite
the
close to the club.
Athletic, yes.
Yeah, Laurie
He did
Whitwell apparently
say
is a
they are
reliable
having a
source.
meeting. He's reliable. He said we're having a
Yeah,
meeting, but he never confirmed United. But ESPN, I even saw who's that guy who was coming to do the breaking news for Sky Sports. He was there outside Mayfair
Oh,
office.
Carve Solik or
Oh
whatever.
God,
Carlos Soler,
I don't like
yeah,
him a
yeah.
lot. Sometimes he gets on my
But
nerves, but it is
but
what it is.
the thing is, his stories, his reporting is quite accurate because
Yes,
Pretty
when
good.
but he
Manchester
was.
United is,
You could
is
see the
ready,
disappointment on his face when he didn't get the
when
news. We were
Manchester
all
United
waiting.
is ready to announce something, they go to certain reporters.
Right.
And Cave would be one of them because he works
Yes.
directly for Sky Sports.
Yes.
Laurie Whitwell, I believe, is also one of them.
Yes.
So when
But
they're
then
ready to release a story, they go to
And Samuel
specific
Lurkos
people.
from the Evening Man United News, Man United Evening News.
yeah. But then you
Manchester
have
Evening News.
and then on the other end you have ESPN reporters like Mark Ogden, who seem to only know how to speak negative about Manchester
Man
United,
United.
and he's not even as bad as the ESPN FC panel.
So you ask yourself, then
You
you
guys
ask
already know
yourself,
my opinion.
so when you see all this, you ask yourself, okay, they are they're reputable publishing companies or news forecasts, they're all good outlets, they're good, but they only seem to want to deliver the bad news all the time when it comes to
Mhm.
Man United. They are like eager. It's like, God damn, can you give us a break?
Mhm.
Well, that is my thing. So that week, my friends were texting me, Tim, are you going to talk about it? I said, listen, there's no confirmation. So what I did with my headline, I mean, who said Eric Ten Hag was getting sacked was the headline on our thumbnail that week. Who said he was getting fired? No one, because they all thought, oh, he's getting fired today. No, he won't. And Ineos not talking about it, they even got more frustrated because Ineos did not say a word, and they got more frustrated. Right? Ineos is just doing what Ineos do. We have no news to tell you. I'm sorry, and I'm happy with. I like what Ineos did it. We have no news to tell you, so I don't know what you're expecting. You know what I mean? So keep it moving. So let's jump on to Alex Ferguson. When we heard Alex Ferguson, people said, "Oh, they sacked the wrong manager." which I can understand. So Alex is a legend, a legend for the club. He's supposed to be an ambassador for a global ambassador, whereby and you see even Devin reports to Sir Alex because they're all in that same global office department. So when they said he was getting fired or being fired, his job is to travel around the world and generate revenue for the club. At 80, how is it old? 81, 82 now, I think.
I think he's
He
80.
was, I mean,
It's like 82.
I mean, come on now. On 2 million a year, because my Ineos did relieve 250 workers before the season started. Catering, facilities, stadium workers. They cut 250 people whose livelihood depended on United. Those people will be affected. But taking 2 million pounds away from Alex Ferguson a year, I don't think it's gonna hurt him because he's set for life regardless. You know what I mean? He just needs to just
Yeah,
turn
Alex
up at
Ferguson, he got bread though. He got bread.
exactly.
Yeah, he
So
does.
were any of you surprised? Let me quickly go to Devin on this one. Were you surprised Sir Alex was fired?
I was, I actually was, to be very honest. And it's not so much about the salary part. It's more so about the fact that he wouldn't be able to go in the dressing room anymore after matches,
Yeah, I thought
which is
that
a
was
tradition that
yeah.
has gone on for God knows how long. So Bobby Charlton, God rest his soul, when he was with us, was known for doing that as well. And that to me, pretty much like that seemed like a cop out to me. Because it pretty much to me, like my first thought was, oh, he intimidates people, the wrong people, maybe because his word carries so much weight with like Manchester United as it deservedly should. But it just felt like some people were scared of him, and now they didn't want him around because they didn't want to hear what he had to say.
Yeah, I kind of think that as
At
well.
the same time, and this is where it gets tricky. Um, would you guys like? I don't know. I see. I don't. I wasn't alive with like Liverpool with the Shankly days. Was Shankly around like that after he retired? I don't know.
Henry
Um,
retired in 77.
yeah. So I went, but like I can't remember when he died, but I don't know if he was around like how Sir Alex was and everything as well too.
No, no.
Like we are so grateful for like everything that you did, but I kind of get it from that way too. However, I still think he should have been allowed to go back into the dressing rooms afterwards to give some words of inspiration, things like that, because his word carries weight. I don't care what anybody says. When he's speaking, you listen.
Right.
So I
Okay.
feel like that is going to be the big
So
negative.
you were disappointed and surprised.
Yes.
And you just feel Ineos did a cop out and using that as an excuse, as in cutting cost and saying he can't go to the dressing room anymore. He has no access. But a lot of people do say his presence is a bit intimidating for other managers because he's on the director's box looking down and they're fumbling and faffing around like the
He
Moises,
should, he should be there. He should be there. By all means, he should be there in that director's box, sitting there with everything as well too. All the other clubs do it. Like Liverpool always shows Ian Rush up there in the stands as well too. I mean, all the clubs. There's nothing wrong with that. And if a manager is intimidated by that, then you shouldn't be the manager for that.
Right, let me go, Joe. Joe, Alex Ferguson being told goodbye and good night on your bike. Were you surprised? How do you feel about that quickly?
Just real quick. One, Alex Ferguson has not necessarily been doing that ambassador job like you think he should have. Somebody that's supposed to be globetrotting. I only see Alex Ferguson in Wembley and in Manchester. So as far as like doing the job, he is not doing that job, fellas. And I say, like, if the guy needed money, I would say, yeah, keep the wages, but he's got bread, right? So
Compared to the other 250 regular
and
workers laid off.
yes, and as far as if we can take that money and like if that money is being reinvested back into the club, reinvested into the women's team, I mean, their wages are like ridiculously shit, right? If we can bump up some wages because we've been losing players on the women's team
A
like crazy.
lot.
We've been losing managers like that it's looking a little. It's only a matter of time before people start really paying attention. It's like Manchester, like we need to start being a little bit more aggressive with our women's team. Right? We want chips for everybody. You know, we want trophies. We want the women to get their trophies in that trophy room too. You know. So that said, if that's what they're trying to do, I'm fine with it.
You're
And
all
to be
for it.
honest, it's been too long, bro. It's been too long. I'm willing to try anything. Anybody can get it. Right. So Alex Ferguson's been in that locker room for the last 12, 10, 13 years. That has not changed our style of play. That has not changed the like he's it's not changing the leaks. It's not changing the player attitudes. It's not you would imagine right having Alex Ferguson in the locker room would give these guys the mentality to run through walls, right? But I'm seeing the exact opposite. So to be honest, I don't even understand what the purpose of it is if managers are able to because he's a planet on its own, man, and he's just gravity everywhere he goes. And yes, not a lot of people in this world, not a lot of men in this world would be able to be successful in applying their craft with this
Under his watchful eyes.
So if he needs to just fall back a little bit, I'm fine with him just going to the
Okay.
games. Hey, his seat is, standard. Anytime he wants to go to a game, come on. You gotta let Alex Ferguson in.
But let me
That's all I'm
introduce,
saying.
let me welcome Houston's
Oh,
great
just
army.
one real quick before you introduce hey, shout out to Ten Hag and getting it done yesterday. All right.
Right, big ones. Welcome to the show, Houston's Red Army, the controversial. Welcome to the show, Bems. You're on mute.
Hey, hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing, man?
Not too bad, not too bad. Let me go to Vim so you could catch up where we are. Vim, were you surprised Sir Alex Ferguson was told goodbye, good night on your bike?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised because it seemed that was the pertinent news that came out on that day. But
They said it was the wrong manager who got fired.
yeah. So the thing is, and £2 million wages a year equates to about £40,000 a week. That's quite a lot of money. And looking at what ambassadors do, they have to do the following: they have to raise awareness of a club's initiatives, they have to support campaigns and encourage activities, they have to represent the club and be a point of contact for fans, they have to help eradicate sexism, they have to provide training and resources and support for churches, promote physical activity, assist staff. I mean, it's a lot to do for someone who's
82.
quite old now,
Mm.
and he does look a little bit. It looks a little bit frail at the moment.
And I think he's
And I
still,
think
I don't think he's recovered from the loss of his wife yet.
yeah, and then he had a stroke, I believe, or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
He's
yeah.
had
So
he's
he
had
does-
multiple open heart surgeries.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I think it's a lot for someone to do who's had all of these problems. You know, is really coming of age now. So I think it makes sense to release him because he'll always be known. I mean, there's a whole stand named after him, and he's always
and
welcome
a
to come to matches.
statue.
But yeah, so he's always going to be a historic figure. But as an ambassador, I think it was probably asking too much of him, and so for the wages didn't seem justified. So it all makes sense as to why they did let him go, and I think
All
it was the right thing to do.
Bemsy, what was your take? Eric Ten, Sir Alex Ferguson told goodbye and good night on your bike. See you later.
I mean, it's it's an interesting situation with Sir Alex. I think I mean Sir Alex is obviously a legend of the club. He's the reason why we are well, he's one of the reasons or a big reason why United is one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's brought so much success to this club, and I think that I mean having him around has been is I mean I didn't see any negative in that, but the thing is the guy's old. Um, I'm not really even sure. Just like what Vim says, I don't think he really has the energy to carry out those duties. I think I mean if you're cutting his salary, I mean he doesn't really need that salary to be honest with you. I think I mean Fergie was there. Just it's been a situation where man, thanks. I mean you've been a big part of this club, and so that's the reason why he's been in that position, in my opinion. But I mean I think
So in
the
your thought,
fact that
justified in releasing him for
yeah,
costs, like Joe said, trying to
the
cut
cutting
costs?
is the cutting his wages. I mean he doesn't really need it. I can see both sides. You can leave it and just let him get paid. You could take it from him, but I don't think like the part of not allowing him into the dressing room. I mean, you could still allow the guy into the dressing room, man. I
Exactly.
mean, yeah, you don't just say don't go in the dressing room. He's a big reason why we are united. So I mean, you
That's
could take the wages, but just just allow him to do everything he's been
Yeah.
doing. Just I mean, come
Correct.
to
Did
the
you over?
games,
Did you
go
have?
to the dressing room. I mean, there's nothing wrong
can I
there.
ask,
He
can I ask a
deserves it.
quick question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if what if we find out that Alex Ferguson is a problem in the locker room?
Why would he be a
Would
problem
you
in the locker room?
I don't see how he's going to be a problem in the locker room.
wait a minute?
I don't see how.
I know it's crazy, but clearly Ineos feels that the team is better suited with Alex Ferguson not in that locker room. Can we agree on that?
No, absolutely not. Because anybody who goes against his
I
word, that's a one-way ticket out of the club.
yeah.
Like
I don't.
I will 100% take his word over anybody else right there. And it's real quick. What have you done for this club?
Exactly.
There's only probably one person who might have a bit of influence over Sir Alex, and he passed away in 1994.
I see
I
what you
mean,
guys are saying.
So
I'm just
the
talking
only
about
person who made the only person who might be able to compete is
I'm
Sir Matt Busby. That's about it. And by the way, he was in the dressing room when Fergie, before Fergie was Fergie as well, and it didn't affect Fergie either.
I don't see how Fergie being in the dressing room affects
So
the
okay,
team.
let me ask you
That should
guys
be
this.
motivation.
Does
If it's a problem, then they're
Fergie
then they're weak
having
minded.
Fergie in the have Fergie having Fergie in the dressing room, does it undermine the manager or any
yes.
manager?
I don't think did
Hold
Sir
on, hold on,
Matt
hold
did
on,
Sir
hold on,
Matt
hold on,
undermine
hold on.
Fergie when
What
he
we're
was in the
gonna
dressing
do?
room?
Let's hear each other. So let's speak one at a time. Vim asked the question. Devin respond. Do you think he undermines other managers by going into the dressing room?
The questions to you, Devin.
Devin.
Oh no, sorry. I thought Vin was asking. My mistake. So long as he's not trying to go like say tactics that are different than what the manager's trying to say, and it's just motivational stuff, I don't see an issue with that. Because, like I said, he's probably doing the same thing that Sir Matt Busby did when he was first taking the reins as well.
And Bobby Charlton.
That's exactly how I look at it, and you see how that
Right.
relationship worked out.
Right.
Can't
Joe,
make that assumption.
your take.
I think Sir Alex Ferguson is if you're an individual that's not strong enough, right? Yeah, it's gonna seem like he undermines the locker room because let's say imagine you are a teacher, right? Trying to get your class to, work on certain projects or whatever, right? And you try to instill discipline in them, right? But then you get that really cool guidance counselor that just comes in and just, everybody's joking. It's hard to get, everybody focused because like he's like fucking Santa Claus, man, whenever he shows up, and he'll, there might be certain players that the manager might be trying to instill certain mentality on. And if Alex Ferguson might be the one that's keeping Rashford in the lineup. How does it like think about it? All these weird ass things that keeps happening to this club, right? There's like an X factor, dog. There's an X factor that we don't know about. Right. And all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Alex Ferguson has been detrimental. I'm just saying I'm willing to try anything. Right. And there's no saying, we're not saying that he can't come back. He can probably come back. It's just that I feel like, and I'll even go as far as to say, Alex Ferguson would still have that position right now if we won the league a few years, a couple of times. The reason why this is happening is because we haven't won the league. All these other guys that you're talking about, they won. All these other teams, Liverpool, they're winning. So I'm just saying. I might have to talk to some Liverpool fans to see how it was when their transition happened when they weren't winning. If the previous manager was still
funny
coming,
thing, the guy who was successful for Liverpool in the 80s, Bob Paisley, he died in the 80s as well. So when the transition to Bob Paisley, he was the one who got them. He got them 3 league titles. I mean, about
took
10
all
league
those titles with him.
Yeah, and three league, Champions Leagues. But football has changed. Football has changed back from the 80s to 90s to the transition to the 2000s. I just think Alex Ferguson loved the club so much, and he just. But do you guys sometimes think his presence at games is intimidating to some managers who are sometimes struggling, like the Mourinhos, the Van Gaals, the Oles, the Ragniks? Do you think his presence there also intimidated players who are frapping about and effing up on the field? Let
And
me
all
quickly
these
go
are
to
just
let me go to Ben quickly.
No.
man. All this is just excuses, man. It's excuses. How? I mean, if it's intimidating, then you shouldn't be at the club. If the
Correct.
manager's intimidated, the manager shouldn't be at the club. If the player's intimidated, they shouldn't be at the club. It's just
Okay.
point blank simple, man.
Okay.
I don't see how Fergie undermines the manager if he comes into the locker room. I don't see how Fergie would
Because you see,
I
if you
mean
watch
want to
during
get
games,
involved.
they pan to his face when things are going badly. Then they look at his facial reaction, and he's like,
I,
Well,
I mean,
that's on the media. That's on the media.
but
That has nothing to do with
that's
yeah,
on
management.
the
yeah.
media. That has nothing to do with the club, though.
I think he's a useful tool. And like previous to this, the conversation we were having was with the media, how they talk about Manchester United. I think he's a useful tool that is used by the media to slander United. Every time And that
Managers are
could be
struggling.
whether that is right or not. It is still a tool used by the media, right?
That's
So, are we going to keep that tool there? Or are we going to, they're still going
No,
to,
but he's
they're
still
still
going to
going
be
to do
coming
the
to the game,
pads.
though.
They're
They
still
said
going to
he's
be
still
coming to the
gonna.
games,
Yeah, so that's not
the
going to
locker room,
change.
I would see.
Yeah. So the media is going to continue to do what they're doing. The thing about the thing is, this club is so weak-minded, and I mean, how does a legend, right, that has done it for the club come into the locker room, and the players are now scared, are now intimidated? If you're intimidated, then I mean, the whole staff needs to be sacked. You shouldn't be at the club, seriously. I mean, you play for Manchester United. Fergie comes into the locker room. He gives you some words of inspiration. He probably just comes there and just, I mean, hey guys, just have a good game or whatever. Or I mean, he doesn't. I can guarantee you, there is no chance. There is no way he undermines
No, I
Ten
don't think
Hag.
he would. No,
There
no,
is
I don't
no
think.
way.
No.
There is no way.
Okay, thank you.
And if like I said, I'm repeating myself. And if players are scared because Fergie comes in and they don't know what to do on the pitch, then yeah, then get out. It's not that
Yeah,
serious.
Vim, his presence, do you think it is? I mean, sometimes his presence in the stadium, looking down on managers who are like under pressure, underperforming, and the players, do you sometimes think it has a detrimental effect on the players and the manager at the time via maybe from Moyes to current day, you think?
I don't think
Should he
so.
not be there? Should he not be coming to games anymore?
No, I think he should be there because it's a reminder of what this club has achieved in the past, and it shows that we've still got a connection with people who can make this club successful. It's a reminder, and I think just being in Old Trafford, 80,000 fans should be intimidating enough. It shouldn't be just a single person here or there, or
True, yeah.
owners or whoever. I don't think so. Any person that takes this job has got to understand that this is a job of immense pressure and immense expectation. And if you can't cope, then you're not the man for the job. So no, Fergie should not be in any way there as someone who's going to intimidate people. And he just looks frail now. To be honest, if I was a player and he came into the dressing room, I'd actually feel inspired because this is the most successful manager in this country ever. And I would feel inspired that this guy's come into our dressing room and it's a reminder of which team I'm playing for and the great things he's achieved with that squad. It would inspire me. It wouldn't intimidate me. It'd give me more motivation. And that's what I'd hope the effect was.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't.
It's funny how people don't realize. I mean, we United fans realize how successful, how great he was. When this guy came into the club, United, up to that point in '87, United only had 7 league titles. Liverpool won 18. At the day he left Old Trafford, United won 20. Liverpool was still on 18.
Yeah,
Imagine.
that was
I
Ferguson's
also
mission.
Imagine.
That was his
Yeah.
mission. He
To
said it. He
knock
said
them
it.
off the effing perch was the
Yeah,
word
but
he used when he
that's
got there.
exactly, it was his mission, and he's very single-minded in
Yeah.
what he wants to achieve. And there was this fantastic documentary on TV about Scottish managers. Unfortunately, probably didn't see it, but about the steeliness they have. A lot of Scottish managers, even players, are much tougher apparently than English managers and English players.
Because
They're
of the
really
hardship they go through.
because of the hardship
Yeah.
they go through, and they're single-minded, they're determined, they're hard-working individuals. They don't mess around. They don't care about social media. They're single-minded. They're focused on what they want to do, and they want to go and win, and they want to play tough, and they want to play hard. Graham Souness was in that documentary as well. The guy was hard as
Okay, that
nails.
makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
And Fergie's from that background, from a mining town. He grew up with,
building
with not
ships
much
back in the
money.
day.
Yeah, and
Yeah, they worked on
what
the
he did with
I actually have a question for the
Aberdeen,
panel.
what he done with Aberdeen, and the success they achieved, he was definitely the right man for the job.
Yeah, 'cause-
And
I mean,
apparently we saw a stat that they were the only team that beat Real Madrid in the final.
Yep. I have a
And
question for the panel.
yeah, go on.
Okay, so I mean, if we're looking back in time now, I would argue Liverpool was like their dynasty was just before the worldwide explosion of football around the world, especially the Premier League.
Yes.
So Alex
So
came
you're
in
looking
at that point. So
70s into 80s, they were
yes,
dominant.
so the 90s introduction to the Premier League. I forget the guy from Sky makes it a worldwide phenomenon. But now the latest iteration, now you're bringing in social media and the digital into this right now. How do you all think Sir Alex Ferguson would fare in today's footballing world?
I think he would do great. I mean, it's not changed so much. He still would not. He would not condone players leaking information on social media. He never liked it. Like when he couldn't handle Beckham, he got rid of Beckham instantly because Beckham was one of those players who were like the players today, but it was Beckham without social media. He was, on magazines, photo shoots. He said, "Listen, mate. Yes, you perform every Saturday, but I can't deal with your agents trying to call me." And he said, "You got to go." He got rid of him, and
Because
he would do
it
the
all
same.
changed. It all changed when he got together with Posh Spice. That he
Yeah,
became a
yeah,
big celebrity then with
yeah.
the two of
Darren
them.
Neville said Beckham would
Yeah.
spend his whole his wages on designer brands that he'd be looking for his next 4 weeks' wages because he's broke. It was the life they were living just because it was who he wanted. Because you got to understand, Beckham comes from my part of London, East London, Leytonstone, but he was a very shy kid. So that woman brought in that popularity and he took it from there and ran with it. I never looked back. And as Ferguson was like, you know what? The attention is going to change your focus. But even though it didn't,
They
I mean,
they thought he was being distracted.
yes,
His mind wasn't on the football anymore. And Ferguson saw
yes.
that and said, "Look, if I can't bring you back and make you single-minded on the football, then you're not the guy for me."
Out you
And
go,
I
mate.
think he would probably manage the same way now. That
He
you
would.
either
Yeah.
give
I think
everything
people
for your
like
club,
Pogba, all that
100%,
dancing, he would have.
Yeah.
100%,
Pogba wouldn't have lasted. Yeah.
committed to this club, or you're not the man to be in this
Yeah.
team. You
So he
move on.
likes
I
players
think it'd be
like
the same.
the
if
Cantonas, the Ronaldos. He likes those people who are like 100% keen, driven for the
I tell
badge and the badge only,
I tell
nothing
you
else.
I
That
tell you
was
one
why he
player
was
that would
driven.
have been. I tell you one player that he would have loved this mentality.
Mm,
But the players left.
mm.
He's a Scottish lad just like him.
Oh, McTominay.
McTominay.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
McTominay. McTominay
Yeah.
came from the academy, so he kind of knew what is expected. But I tell you who is so disappointing to me is Rashford. Rashford came from the academy. He knows the standards. He knows what is expected. But when things are going wrong, his head is the first to drop. He might not be the captain, but at least you could inspire the Mainos, the Armads, the Ganacho that listen, guys, we could do it. But you never see him doing anything but just going along like, bro, there's no player there on that pitch in this team who's been there longer than him. And yet he's the weakest and the quickest to head drop. That's just disappointing. It really is disappointing. Those
I
guys
think I
didn't go to the
think
academy. They've not been in the club 10 years. He's been there since age what? 10, 8, 8, 7? You know what I mean? He's 26 now. 19 years.
yeah, I think
It's
until
sad.
Rashford leaves this club, I think until Rashford leaves his club, I don't think that he's a problem. He's a problem. Whether it is, I mean, because he's someone the media like to hold on to and talk about. It's always a story because of Marcus Rashford. That guy, I mean, yes, he's a top player when he's on his day, but I think eventually you just have, let's be real. Rashford he needs to leave this club. If you really look at it, if this club really wants if we want to turn the corner, he needs to go.
So you
He
think
can't be here long
you
term.
don't think he can't do any better than where he is now? You think he's got to that
no,
ceiling whereby he's
I
done?
don't see how he does any better. I mean,
no.
the guy's on a he's on a really nice contract. He's making good money. I mean, he doesn't at the end of the day, he's getting paid. So to him, I mean, he's gonna look at his bank account, he's good. The guy, for what he puts in the club, for what he does on the pitch,
He's
that those
overpaid.
wages it does
Don't
not
keep quiet.
equate at
It
all.
don't
It
it does
doesn't
not have to,
He's
just
doesn't
he's
add
getting
up.
he's getting paid difference maker wages, and he's not a difference maker
he's not a
at
difference
all.
maker, man.
Right,
The
I
guy
hear
needs to
you.
go. He
I
needs
hear
to
you.
go.
Right.
He
Thing
doesn't
is,
There's
galvanize the
been
team.
no, he
Go
doesn't.
ahead,
There's been
Vim.
a couple of reports about Rashford and Bruno, basically saying that for Man United with this current squad to do well, these two
mm,
have to be playing really well. If these two don't play well, the whole team just doesn't function well. And
Yes.
and and Ten Hag, they were saying that prior to all this noise, Ten Hag would get sacked unless Rashford and Bruno start stepping up for the team and playing well. Now Bruno gives as much effort as he can, and we know he's a little bit careless at times, but Rashford was the key.
A little bit.
And when Rashford plays well, like he did against Brentford, then we as a whole team play well because he creates stuff and he's starting to score goals under maybe I don't know, he's got a different striker coach perhaps this season, and maybe that's making a difference. But when he plays well and Bruno's then also making these deft passes and keeping the game flowing, then it can save our squad and it can also save the manager's neck.
It's just
and
sad.
the point, but the problem with that, right, is that if we're so reliant on Rashford,
I was about to say that.
then
You
that
read
is
my
a big
mind.
problem because as soon as
It
he downs
is.
tools, the whole team will suffer.
That's
Everything
what I'm
suffers,
saying. It
and we're
shouldn't
too
rely
reliant
on
on
him.
him.
Yeah.
And the
The
funny
club
thing,
is to rely
he's
on
not
him, yeah.
even great enough to be relied upon. But you see, this is what I'm saying. Why relying on two guys who are very inconsistent? Look at the previous teams we've had. You could rely on Keane. He's having a bad day. Paul Scholes having a bad day. Carrick having a bad day. Tevez having a bad day. Rooney, Ronaldo. So you did not rely on one, two. You see what I mean? But if you're relying on them two guys, then those guys will sail you down the river, mate. They are not consistent enough. They're hot and cold. Those guys I mentioned, they're always hot, because their desires, we are coming here to win. We are not here to make friends and shake hands. We're going into battle. That's it. They focus in one direction only. These guys are like, oh, we got a goal down. Ugh, I'm not feeling it today. Let's see how. No, it's Man United. We always want to win every trophy. Even if it's a five-a-side tournament, we want to win. These guys today, I'm
So
feeling it. So we
I,
can't
I
be
think
relying on them
something's
two.
changed with Rashford though recently. I think he's been spoken to, or he's been having one-on-one coaching, or something about him has
Yeah.
changed this season. I don't know if you can see any improvements in him, but it's been slow and it's been gradual this season. Like I think yesterday, for me, Brentford, and I'm hoping we're going to go and talk about Brentford soon. For me, it was the best game of the whole season so far.
It
I actually
was.
enjoyed watching this game.
It was the second best game of the season.
For
Brentford?
you, for me, it was the best game.
No, because it was the Europa
Oh,
match where he got
wait.
taken at the halftime was better.
Right.
Wait,
Are you
Vim,
talking
so
about for
you
Rashford? You're talking
Yes,
about for Rashford.
Rashford. Yeah.
Oh no,
okay.
I'm talking about for me
So we
as
are
a
now
fan.
approaching halftime.
so you
We're
talk
now
about
going
like
to
the
the
way we played,
halftime,
Vim?
Roy.
Yeah,
Is it, so
I
you
actually
think
enjoyed it.
Sorry,
Oh,
sorry. I
oh,
thought you meant
oh.
Rashford. My
Okay.
I
mistake.
enjoyed the way we played yesterday. We looked like a
Okay, so
different team.
now, since
Wow.
we're
From what I've
coming to
seen.
That's
the
interesting to hear. Because
we're
to
coming
me,
to the
I
second
don't
half
think
of the
we
show.
were great,
You
We're
didn't
going to
enjoy
in my
it?
talk
opinion.
about the game now. We're
Mm.
going to talk about the Man United game against Brentford. We're now come to the we're now halfway mark of the show. So let's finish that part of the show with the Brentford game. Man United beating Brentford 2-1, but it was the toughness not showing weakness, considering that goal at such a critical time at that half. That just before halftime, consider goal. Heads would drop mentally, but they came back, which was good. So we're going to delve into that toughness and that energy that came from United yesterday to beat Brentford, who always score goals in 45 seconds. I'm going to start with Vim. Vim, when you saw that game, the lineup, with injuries, Johnny Evans playing on the left wing, what was your take? Go on.
I think it was Lissandro Martinez was playing on the
Okay, yes.
left back. It's a strong lineup, and I've never really had doubts that we haven't got a strong team. I think we do have a strong team. I just don't think we've been able to deploy them. But yes, going down and losing that goal at such a critical time, I thought it was. It just seemed like bad luck. It seemed like bad luck. When we concede, we just heads go down. And Delete was pissed off. I mean, he reminded me of Vidic. When Vidic used to play through with all that blood. He just reminded me of that. This guy is a fearless defender, and he's passionate, and I love seeing that. With Martinez next to him, these two are fierce, and Johnny Evans as well. He's up to the job. So seeing that, I was worried. I thought, shit, we don't want to go goal down and go into halftime because heads drop. But apparently, and this is what I'm reading on Manchester Evening News, that Darren Fletcher, and Ruud van Nistelrooy went berserk in the tunnel. They flew off the handle. They were shouting at people, not our team obviously, but at the officials, because they felt it was just unjust. And because they went berserk, I think it fires up the team. It sparks something in the team, and I think it was a combination of all the management and the players psyching each other, saying, "Look, we cannot afford to go and lose this game. We got thrashed 4-0 last season by Brentford. Something has to change," and I think that was the catalyst, perhaps, in during that 90 minutes. that unjust call to take Dilly off. I know he's covered in blood, but also the
They couldn't even
spark
do
from the
a decent
coaches.
job. Bloody
Yeah,
hell.
the spark from the coaches. I mean, it's quite an interesting report I'm reading about, but they completely lost their heads, and that's passion. That's passion. That's passion going into the players, and then they felt it, and they had a halftime talk, and they came out as a different team. I loved that second half. It was brilliant. And I thought you were doing okay in the first half because one thing as well,
Garnacho had
Brentford
the
have
chances.
scored. Garnacho was on fire.
He
As soon
was
as he
on
got the
fire,
ball, he was going towards that goal and he was
Yup.
taking pot shots.
He was not playing
And
games.
Dalot's positioning in the second half as well was excellent. He'd
Yes.
go almost, he was like almost playing as a striker and inverted fullback. It was brilliant. But what was I going to say? So I've got off track now. Yeah, I think it was a great second half. Oh yeah, sorry. Brentford have been scoring in the first minute for the past 5 or 6 games.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
so the joke was that they're going to score in the first minute. And they almost did. I think they scored,
Some of
nearly
us
scored in
at
the
the,
Yeah,
second
they
some
minute.
almost
of us in
did.
the
But
pub.
we held out.
Some
Yeah,
of us in
we
the pub were
held
looking at the
out.
clock. We're looking at the clock.
Yeah.
We're looking
And
at
I
the
was
clock
worried
like,
about that because they really warmed up right from the start and they're pinging the ball around fast. It's like watching old Barcelona play where they do long passes and they've got instant control. It was brilliant to watch. That's why I've
Right.
been going on about Brentford a lot recently. But
right.
we held out and we found a composure and we started to dominate possession in parts. But second half was something I've never seen all
Right.
season. It was brilliant.
Devin, Man United Brentford. I mean, a few tweaks in the lineup, little tweaks, having Martinez on the left full back. You know, what was your take on the game
I
in
was
general?
actually, when I saw the midfield, I was nervous. When I saw
Bruno
Jimmy Evans in the lineup,
Casemiro.
I was nervous because I'm thinking that what's his name? I think it was Wisa and Mbumo were about to have a field day with us. That was my thinking on that one. Um, and then we go in there and we actually played pretty decent for the first half. I thought it was pretty open. I can't remember if it was the knee that split De Ligt's head open or not. I don't
It was
know.
the knee.
It was
the
a knee.
knee.
It was the knee.
Yeah.
I
It was the
wasn't
knee.
sure, but like the way he kept on coming on and off, I was getting a little bit angry about that.
Yeah.
And
Because the
so
medics
then
can't
it's
do a
like, but it's
decent
like,
job.
okay, you go up one time, get patched up, okay, whatever, get it patched up, falls off, goes off for a second time. This time, okay, what did you do the first time? Let's do a little bit more on top of that. Comes off for a third time, conveniently enough, right at a set piece for a corner.
Exactly.
And you know what? It was I was pissed about it.
I was. So you could see they were
I
furious.
was fuming about it. Everybody was upset about it. At the same time, as mad as I am at the medical staff for not getting patched up in time properly, I still have to put it. Looking back on it, I still think Dalot lost his defender.
It was Dalot. That was it had nothing to do with De Ligt being out. I'm sorry, go ahead. Finish, Devin.
But what I'm saying, like, so yes, De Ligt loses man. Now they have a man advantage, and that guy is open right there. Comes in, scores. We can debate this. We can debate this all that we want on here. My belief is if De Ligt was there, they would not have scored. Anyway, we go into halftime. If what you're saying is true, them about them being fired up, I love that. Because I know it's funny enough, like we were talking about the whole Sir Alex influence. I know Sir Alex would have lit up everybody in that in that tunnel and just said to the players, "You better come with all fire now in the start of the second half. Otherwise, that rage is going to be on you guys at the end of the match." So
Right.
whatever was said in that dressing room there, this is the
And in
time
the
where I wish
tunnel.
the dressing room. This is the time where I wish, like you guys heard the stories about the Aston Villa dressing room apparently being bugged, right?
Yeah.
This is the time where I wish the dressing room was bugged because I would have loved to have heard what they said at halftime. They came out in the second half and they played brilliant. They really did. The only thing I could say that I wish was better was that Garnacho put away more of his chances in the first half. Because if he had done that, that goal wouldn't have been as detrimental to us.
Right.
So
Garnacho. What about Ericsson?
That sitter.
yeah, that's but
I could not believe that.
But going on like with the second half, I was actually very impressed with that second half. Like the players looked like they actually wanted to play.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Let me use the opportunity to welcome UK representative, Mr. Fortress. Ken, welcome to the show. You're on mute.
Yes. How's it going?
Not too bad. Right. So, Joe, follow up from what Devin and Vim said. We watched the game together yesterday. Man United, Brentford, unknown to score goals in 25, 45 seconds. We were all looking at the clock like, can United hold out with our defense? So go take me from there.
Um, yeah, even when the goal went in, I understood that it seemed like we were Groundhog Day again. Half where we looked kind of good, we lost possession. We lost the energy a few times. But even when the goal went in, the only thing that kept me going was Ganacho because I knew the goal went in, and I immediately thought, okay, at worst case scenario, this ends in a draw because I know Ganacho is going to score because the hunger that I saw in him, there's no like you got to imagine, man. You as a forward, especially one that plays for United, you have to stoke fear into the hearts of the defenders throughout the world. And that's exactly what Ganacho brings to this team, man. And every time he gets the ball, whoever's on him is like, okay, how am I going to earn my check today? Because this little man is he's coming to cook. He is here to cook. And I just so wish we would see the same thing on the opposite end of wherever he's playing. Because I didn't see that from Rashford. Rashford did do a lot of the dirty stuff today, right? He did a lot of the running around. He did, track back.
Sancho,
And
Garnacho had a lot of shots on target and off target, on target, off target.
Yeah, and I just thought like yesterday we would have been able to see the game off a little bit easier if he may have brought in Ahmad, man, because you bring Ahmad on the right side with Garnacho cooking on the left. Come on, man. It's right there, man. That's why I'm like, the fact that he didn't take Rashford out even after this like 65th, 70-minute, man, I was like, come on, man, what's going on here? Give this kid, let this kid, like, what are you doing? That's why like, I got his picture up there, right? But at the same time, I'm seeing him making mistakes that could cost him his job. And if he continues in that manner, I don't mind at all if Ineos sacks him. But he did well yesterday. The tactics put us in a position to win, and that's what we went ahead and did.
Does anyone think, Benz, I'm coming to you. Does anyone think Garnacho needs to work on his left shooting more because he seems to have more chances on his left foot, which tend to go wide, or he aims at the near post instead of the far post.
Is he right-footed? Is he right-footed or left-footed? He's right-footed.
Yeah.
So we're having the same problem as we had with Anthony.
Yeah.
So I think Garnacho needs to
I don't
work
think it's that bad though.
No, I'm just saying it's a bit
both of Anthony's feet is dead. To be honest, both of Anthony's feet is dead.
On
he misses just as much with his left foot than he does with his right.
Anthony is a DH version of Robin.
Anthony's what?
A DH gate version of Robin.
Iron Robin.
Yes.
And Robin.
The great. No, that guy was no.
Is DH gate a thing in the UK as well too?
Huh?
I was saying, is DH gate a thing in the UK as well too?
Do you guys use DH gate, Vim?
What's DH gate?
DH gate is kind of like an Amazon kind of.
It's an Amazon. It's a Chinese Amazon that sells knockoffs, basically.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard of it.
DH gate. Oh wow. So
yeah. So like I said,
you get
Delta Hotel.
Yes. Anyway, I'm saying that Anthony is a knockoff Robin, basically.
Iron Robin was a great player, though.
Yes.
He was a great player.
But he was one-footed, and you knew what he was going to do, and he still did it.
Yes. And he had that close ball.
Going back to what I was saying with Garnacho, I think Garnacho's biggest downfall right now, where I need to see him step up more, is he gets that ball in the final third and he has tunnel vision. I've been saying if he can start adding assists to his game, like sometimes he shoots and there was a person in a better position. So if he can add that into his game as well, wow. But other than that, like I said, that's the one thing I think that's really missing from him that I want to see him develop now.
Right. Okay, let me bring in Ken. Ken, Mr. Fortress, the game was played in your turf. United were home. This was after international break against Brentford, who's going 45 seconds. What was your take when you saw that game, and take us through what was going through your mind during the game quickly, please?
Yeah, the game. Do you want to hear my honest?
Oh,
opinion?
please! This is where it is. Honest. I'm not going to be diplomatic.
I think
Joe rubbing his hands. He wants to hear it. Joe and Ben's already.
A lot of people were deceived. A lot of people are living in cuckoo land. That's what it is. That game for me doesn't change anything.
Right.
I don't see any positives out of that game.
Right.
And yeah, the sooner we get rid of this manager, the better, because
Zero
all of
positives.
these,
Joe,
there's no positives for me.
Joe.
There's no, I don't see not even one positive, because I'm tired of this fraud, to be honest. That's where I am, and I'm not changing. As
No,
far as I'm
stand by
concerned,
word.
I didn't think
he's
today's
a
show was going
fraud.
to be about that because it's been
He's
all
yeah,
about that
but that
No,
recently.
no,
It's
no,
just
no. He's
yeah,
talking
but
about the
I don't.
match. It's about the
This is
match.
When you have an
it's a
yeah.
agenda,
good
it
point.
is.
It's a good point. It's a good point, Vim, because I don't want to be reactionary. I know what this guy is capable of, and I think he's clutching way beyond his weight. So that we're just delaying the inevitable, as
So
far
we
as I'm
happy
concerned.
United got 3 points yesterday?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know
Hell
if I
no.
was. I wasn't. I
Wow.
wasn't
So,
because I'm looking at the long
Wow.
term.
when they
I
did you
wasn't.
what did you watch the game? You watched
Wow.
the game,
I
right? Did
didn't.
you
I
watch?
didn't watch the game. No, I didn't
Okay.
watch the game.
So maybe
Wow.
if
You
you had
watched the
watched the
game.
game, if you watched the
I didn't
game,
watch
Oh,
the game.
Kenny,
Well, that
man.
I
says
saw the I
that
saw the
says that
So,
says a
highlights.
lot.
Kenny,
That says
Kenny,
a
for
lot.
me, it was
You
the
didn't
best
watch
game
the
of the
game.
season. It
That
was the
says a
best game of the
lot,
season,
man.
one at a
honestly.
time, one at a time.
Vim,
That
Vim,
says
don't
a
You
Talk to
fall
lot.
have to
for it.
Ken.
watch that game. It
Vim,
was
don't
brilliant.
Wow.
fall for it. I saw the highlights. Do
Now
you
we
like
Highlights
don't
don't
know.
give
No,
give
no,
us a
I
good
watched the whole game and
Now
I
we
was
know the
glued to it.
agenda is
I actually
real.
Well,
enjoyed watching Man United
listen,
one at
perform.
a
Ken, I'm gonna
time.
send
Joe,
Ken, I'm gonna
hold
send
on.
you a link.
No,
All
no, no.
right, I'm gonna send you a
Let
link
Ken finish.
for
Let
both
Ken finish. Let
halves.
Ken finish. I want to hear
Let
it. I want to hear
Ken
it.
yeah,
finish. Joe, you're already
yeah.
on a yellow. Calm down. You don't want this one. You're already on this.
I
We
am not
have to
getting
stop talking
deceived.
over each other. Go on, Ken.
Yeah.
Let it all out.
I'm not I'm not getting deceived by this fraud, because this is what he does. He wins one game, everyone gets excited, and then you're back down to earth. So that's where I am,
Okay.
you know?
Right.
Yeah, that's my summary. You can all slice
Right.
and dice me. I
So,
don't care.
oh,
That's me.
no, no,
See,
no. It's your opinion. We don't have to agree with it, but we have to respect it. That's the way it is. Stop.
Mhm.
When you saw the highlights, did you see anything? Did you see the players step up? Did you see any energy? Did you see
Good
any
question.
psychological
Yeah.
improvement on the way of the mental fragility go a level up when it went a goal down? Did you see anything different at all, or nothing? You were just numb to it.
The goals were good. As far as I still don't see a style of play. It's all the same crossfield. Do you think when we play better teams, you're not gonna get a chance? The goal that Garnacho scored would not go in 9 times out of 10. The flick that Bruno did was nice, but is that gonna work every single game? No. So let's not get carried away and get excited. Yeah, it was a 2-1 win, but are we not supposed to be beating Brentford at home? Is this supposed to be? This is how low we've
so
come, where we're celebrating Brentford.
Okay.
I'm not getting carried
so
away. This guy
so
is a fraud.
so,
I need to
so
get
can I
rid of
say
him.
something?
So,
Can I say something?
Bams, your take on the game.
Please.
I think in my opinion, I'm gonna say some things that Ken said. Um I
So you want
wasn't
to piggyback on, you want to rebuttal what he
yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, make
Yeah,
it quick, because
yeah,
we have
yeah.
other people want to talk as well.
So in my opinion, I don't think we played great football. There were moments we did explore in the second half we did. First half, I don't think it was really great. I think I still do not see that consistent style of football. It was better yesterday, but it's not what I want to see in my opinion.
Right.
I'm a big Ten Hag fan. I'll tell you that, and I would like him to be given the chance to make this right. But I'm not getting excited over that win. It was a good win. We should be winning Brentford, but it's not something for me to get overexcited. But I'm happy we won 3 points, and let's go do it again next week.
All right.
So.
Okay.
I would add on to that.
Go on, Devin.
I was not happy about conceding like that.
Yeah.
The
It
biggest
was
takeaway
free.
the big thing that I saw from this game was the mentality was different.
Yes, it
And
was.
so that's the part that I'll take away that I'm happy with. I do agree with Ken to a little bit though, where he's saying you shouldn't be excited about beating Brentford. There should be a team you should be winning.
Yes.
But
Yep.
what I've always called out, and I've said it all the time, I worry about the mental toughness of this squad.
Right.
And I saw the team actually play well in the second half, and for one match, they actually showed some real mental strength. So
Yes.
for that is my number one positive I will take away from this game.
I agree.
But does it get Brentford though, man? Are they going to show this mental
That's what, but
toughness against a tough
that's why I
team
alluded to
Yeah.
it in the beginning. I get it. I get it. We should be beating this team. I get it.
You know the old saying, you can only
But you know
beat who
what?
they're
But
putting
at the same time, you can only play who's in front of you at the time. Now
Debbie, you must have read my
let's
mind.
see
I was
what
about to say
happens.
that.
Let's see what happens after West Ham, which we should win, especially since they don't have Kudus, and then go on from there. We'll see.
Okay. Right.
They'll probably go lose against West
Let me
Ham
bring
more
in
than
the soul
likely.
man. I think he wants to get a few things off his chest. Go on, Joe. Floor's yours.
Hey, man. Ain't nobody watching that game and getting carried away. That's a straw man argument, bro. You're arguing against something that nobody. Yes, I sent that video. Yes, but that was specifically for you, Kenneth.
Oh, you
That was
sent
for
Kenneth a
you.
video?
Oh yeah, the WhatsApp group.
Ken, did you get it?
Did you watch that? Or did you only see the highlights?
I've saved the video for future for the to come back.
You got
Because I don't watch on my phone. That
Archived.
video. I'm gonna play that video back very soon. Don't worry.
Oh my goodness. Think of it.
Right.
Just F
Carry
myself.
on, Joe.
But
Carry on.
hey, yes, nobody's getting carried away. Yes, there were still flaws in that game. The concession of the goal was not because of Delit being out. It was obviously Dalot again costing us another goal. He needs to be careful. It's another week that Dalot has had another one of those one of those games where he was
Lack of awareness.
directly involved in the concession of a goal. But the fight, yes, definitely. The fight, it was the best thing that happened yesterday. If we're talking about, not seeing any positives, I would call that a massive positive from yesterday's game. Because don't take your earphones off now. I need you to listen to this now, right? Nah, I'm gonna wait.
You two or something else. Carry on. I like this. Carry on. This is funny.
He does not want to be free because the truth is what he needs, and he's refusing to get there. Okay, now that you're back, Mr. Kenneth, what I was saying is, since, to rebut some of the things that you were saying, claiming there was nothing good about what happened yesterday. Well, these are some of the things that you're going to miss when you just watch the highlights. You have to watch the game. You have to look at how the players reacted to the concession of goal and coming in the second half and getting this win. Would you say the mentality at least was a good and positive thing?
Only if we beat West Ham, I might change a little bit. Because now
you need to see us play in the future to give us credit for the past.
So Joe, yes. Joe, I think I've seen where Mr. Fortress is. You see, he has gone through a lot of psychological scars and trauma by this team. So he's doesn't want to get too emotional, oh, we got one win, then next week
we're down again.
You know what?
No,
so in his mind, he's like, this guy, when he sees his job is on the line, the team will just rally and get a result. Then next, when they get comfortable, the fans all comfortable, we're all there, united. Then
we lose 4-0.
So I see where Ken. That's why I'm just that's why you don't have to agree with Mr. Fortress, but respect his opinion, because there are a lot of people.
In other words, you're saying the team gets complacent, and that's
a lot of people who have been traumatized by the performance of this team.
I'm just talking about having joy.
He's saying he did not celebrate. That's fine, because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to affect himself by. The next week he's like, what the F? You know what I mean? That is where he's at. Yes. And I get it. If United play 5-a-side and win, I will still do this every day.
Yes.
Some people are like that. Yeah.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be upset.
We nearly got relegated in 89-90. I used to go to Old Trafford then. I still celebrated goals. Now I will celebrate till the day God calls me up. So it ain't gonna change. That is me. I will celebrate United every day, any day. 5-a-side, 2-a-side, 1-a-side, I will celebrate. That's me. I can't go to United and not celebrate.
We actually have a... Ken,
go on, Bev.
Some people need to be educated.
before the West Ham game, we actually have
I'll
a
train
very
you with
tricky
your
fixture.
sorry, I'll train you, Joe, with your video very soon. Don't worry.
So
Ken,
Joe has the fan training videos now.
Ken,
Wow.
I actually have a question for you right now because I
Sure.
get your
Yeah.
sentiment right now,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go
and
on, Joe,
and I kind of agree the complacency is an issue at this.
Mhm. Go on. What's your
We get a
question?
result against Mourinho's Fenerbahce
Yeah.
before West Ham because
Yeah.
I think that's a harder fixture than West Ham.
Yes,
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
going into the
Yeah.
Terror Dome.
So if we pull that off, will your sentiment change?
No. It will only change slightly if we can beat West Ham.
So not
Because
Fenerbahce.
not Fenerbahce, no, because the West Ham when was the last time we won two consecutive games in the league? Can we even
Not this season. Not this season. I don't think we've done.
Oh my
I
There you
don't think we
go.
won this season.
There we go.
I don't think we won this season.
There you go. Everyone's
2013.
going.
Hold on.
I don't think
There
we
we
won.
go.
We had to.
I'm trying
It
to
would be
not
nice
this
if we
season.
could. I think you see we haven't won 2-0, and that for United fans
There you go.
is very disappointing that we cannot
We
win back
we
to back.
won 2 games in a row. Last
In the
time
league,
was
in the league, yeah.
In the league.
the league. The league.
Yes.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
go
that's
back.
That's
Wait.
it's little sprinkles, a little sprinkles.
Yeah.
Vim,
There you go.
right? We're now injury time. Who's got questions? Anyone got questions?
I have a question.
Are we gonna make top 4?
No,
You're not gonna make top 4.
no.
I got a question.
No,
Who
as of
should-
now, no. You could ask me that question on January 1st. I'll probably have a better answer.
My
As of
question
now,
is,
no.
my question is, who should take over Sir Alex Ferguson's spot as global ambassador?
We already have it.
Who's that?
Brian Robson.
Oh, for real?
And I know they're not paying him 2 million a year.
Well, no, but like you're saying like global ambassador, like when you say global ambassador, I want somebody who's going through engagements that's traveling the world.
Yeah, Brian Robson does it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Brian Robson's doing that right now.
So what
Well,
was
he's
Alex Ferguson supposed to be
on the board
doing?
of directors. He's not on the board of directors. He was also getting a
So wait a
director's
minute.
salary.
Wait a
Now
minute,
he
you
won't
telling me
get the director's salary anymore.
the team was already paying 2 people to do one job, and they just decided to give it to Alex Ferguson?
There's multiple global
Layers.
ambassadors club.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have Andy Cole, you have Ji-Sung Park, you have Wes Brown, you have Brian Robson. I can't remember if there's any other ones as well too.
Okay.
But you have when they Dwight York is one as well. So when you go around and you see like these different fan engagements they do around the world, these are the ones that are traveling everywhere. Sir Alex was not doing that. He was
And
a
Alex-
director.
Sermon is one as
He was
well.
a
Sir
director.
Alex is in the board of directors. But he now would still be a board of directors. He won't be paid as a director.
But going back to your question, we're talking about a global ambassador.
Yeah.
Just like for that alone, Brian Robson is the best example of that. He's already doing it.
Okay.
Right.
There isn't anybody else you would like to see, like maybe like Patrice or
The only
I would like to see Chicharito.
he's still playing.
Chicharito is still playing.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in Mexico.
He's in Mexico.
Oh, snap.
He went back to Guadalajara. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was still playing then.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
he's still playing.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Brian Robson, I mean, arguably the best captain United ever had.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, do you really like if you're gonna say he's global ambassador, I can't think of anybody else.
I don't think Keane has the temperament. I mean, Keane can do it. It's just that he doesn't have the time.
Keane would not do that.
Keane doesn't like fans. He doesn't like hanging around fans all the time. He avoids fans like that. Yeah, I don't think he's got like that.
Right.
Hopefully so.
Any other questions? Any
shit.
more questions? Any more questions? We are in question injury.
How do you all think that we do against Jose?
That's a very good question. Okay. Against Fenerbahce, you're playing against Fred Amrabat are in that team, which already makes a very solid midfield with. So I don't know how they're set up. How are they performing in the Turkish league? Are they in the top 4? Are they leading the league?
Let me research that.
Yeah. Quickly, someone pull up Fenerbahce's performance in the Turkish league currently, and also between them and Galatasaray.
Fenerbahce are 4th.
4th. Well, they're doing great. So how many points are they from top?
They are 8 points off the top.
So they're not exactly far in, are they? Who's leading? Galatasaray?
Well, but
Yeah,
with that being said, though, they've only lost once.
Right, just like us. Oh, we've lost.
So no, this is where it gets tricky. So Galatasaray are in the league, 9 played, 25 points. Fenerbahce are fourth with 8 played, and
So they got a game in hand.
So they have a game in hand. So if they win that, they're in second.
Okay. So
They also
this
have a goal.
team.
They also have a goal difference of 11.
Okay.
Oh wow.
They've got some experienced players as well.
They do.
Yeah.
So, Vim, do you think we can handle Fenerbahce in the
Yeah,
Turkish crowd?
I don't see why not.
We went to Turkey last season and got destroyed against a different
against
team.
who was it against?
Galatasaray.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Vim's turned. It's all good. We're gonna win the Europa League.
No, I'm not thinking like that.
Was
I'm
it
just
Demba
taking it
Ba who
game by
scored
game.
torches? I can't remember.
So you're doing a game by game.
They've got Dzeko, they've got Alan St. Maximum, who used to play for Newcastle.
Dzeko didn't even play for City.
Yeah,
They got
he
Sengi
did.
Tosin, they got Fred,
They have
they've got
Tadic.
Sofian Amrabat,
Tadic from
Dusan
Southampton.
Tadic.
Yeah.
Kostic. They've got some experienced players, and they've got a wily manager. So I don't think it's going to be an easy game, but I think we've got the youth
It's not gonna be easy.
to have pace and outrun them. So I think
Right.
we've got to have our energy levels right up there.
But they're gonna. We all know Jose's gonna come out and play defensive. So
Yeah. So
I think
he's gonna try for a smash and grab. So we just have to keep pushing.
yeah, Ben.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to be studying us, and he's going to be looking for our weaknesses.
Oh yeah.
I think
Is
he'll be
Mourinho
prepared.
going to be seen as a friend or foe? Do you think he's going to treat us as his enemy or as a friend?
I think he'll definitely want to win because of the circumstances that he left Man U.
Yes.
So
For
he's,
sure.
he's definitely got an axe to grind with us.
Right.
Hmm?
Bems, Man United Fenerbahce.
Yeah, Mourinho's gonna, just like what Vim said, Mourinho's gonna want to show that he shouldn't have left. So he's gonna want to beat us, and I feel that he could beat us. So that game I think is either a draw or loss. I don't see us winning that game against Mourinho.
All right, Joe. Fenerbahce in Turkey, in the Turkish dome. Terror. That crowd can be very hostile. Very, very hostile.
I think we finish our chances. We win this game 3-1. Just finish the chances. If we get the same chances that we had today, and there was
I see Mr. Fortress is laughing. He actually fell off his chair.
bro,
3-1. Really.
bro, 3-1.
Okay.
3-1. That's how I'm calling it. I'm calling it. Who you got? Who's it?
I would love it. I would absolutely love it if we win.
Yeah.
Love it if we win that game. 3-1.
No, since we're being honest, right? Like Kenneth came in with the, saying that he wants to be honest and everything. Kenneth, did you lose any money yesterday?
No, I didn't. I'm not a gambling man anyway. So.
Okay. I just want to know, because you came in real sour pussy. You came in earlier. I just wanted to check. I bet.
I didn't.
Mr. Fortress, Fenerbahce.
Yes. We don't know. We could win, we could lose, we could draw. That's United for you. I'd say probably a draw, a loss. Can't see us winning. United do not have this oomph to go away from home and really dominate games, and not somewhere like even Fenerbahce for a top team it's hard. For Man City, going to Fenerbahce will be very hard. Arsenal, how much more a very flaky United team.
Wow.
Manager.
All right, bro, I feel you, mate. Devin, you asked the question. What's your take? How do you feel?
It's if I have to really think about this one, Jose, I think, is going to play part of the bus.
At home.
So, well, he did it with us. I think he did it like with Roma as well too. The problem we struggle against a low block. I do not see 4 goals in this game.
I don't know.
At the most two. At the most 2. But if I have to do a score prediction, it's gonna go 1-0 either way. I don't know which way, but I'd have to go with a 1-0.
Who's gonna handle Dzeko? Dzeko's 6'4", so we're gonna need the lit.
Licha got him. I got it.
Okay, all right.
Licha take care of him.
Okay, that would be great.
Assuming we have a left back available.
Is
We
Mazraoui?
probably don't.
Mazraoui came back. He played a little 10 minutes yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, he did play. So
I don't think
yeah,
he's
I would
ready.
love
I
to
don't
see
know if he's ready to play a
Mazraoui.
full game.
And
Right. Anyone got any more questions? We are injury time. Injury time. Questions one. Question two. Time going.
good question. Kenneth has mentioned that he's going to start changing his opinion next week if we beat
West Ham.
West Ham. My question to the rest of the group, not Kenneth, is Kenneth going to move the goalpost next week when we beat West Ham?
Oh, very confident. Very confident.
Tim, can we do like a spin-off between these two? Just have them two go at it instead of us.
Hey, they're doing nothing.
I
in the
just
chat.
want to know.
I just
want to know
work.
which direction the goalpost is going to be moved next week. Left or right?
If
Or
United
back?
beat West Ham 4-1, I wonder what Ken is gonna say. Ken is like,
No, he's
Hold
like,
on, wait, hold on.
no.
No,
It
the
won't
real
happen.
question,
It won't
Joe, you
happen.
should ask. Ken, will you watch the full match next week?
Oh yes, basics. Let's go with the basics.
not highlights, the full game.
I'll watch it. Yeah,
Not
because
not the full highlights.
Let me ask you, when was the last time we beat West Ham at the London Stadium?
I think that's when Ronaldo was there.
No, not the second time, the first time.
No. Second time when he came and De Gea saved a penalty last
First
minute,
time.
Let me look that up real quick.
and Lingard was
Yeah,
in
look
goal. Lingard scored the
Yeah.
winner.
Look it up. Let's see when we've lost the
before-
last 3 visits, I think.
Then the last time De Gea dropped a clanger when they took a shot from
Yeah.
30 yards.
I was
I
in
remember
the
that.
stadium. I was in the stadium when that happened.
Oh,
Yes. So, anyone got the record when last time we beat West Ham at London? Did we lose last season? Or we drew?
Yes, we did. We lost.
Okay.
You're talking about just the Prem, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah. At the London Stadium. People are having to dig into the archives.
Ken already has the answer because we know we lost. Anyway, so I mean, West Ham got destroyed
Well, the
yesterday,
last time we
4-1
beat,
by Spurs.
I can't remember, but I don't think it was anytime soon though.
Mm.
We typically lose there.
Yeah.
West Ham
or
got
draw.
beat yesterday 4-1 by Spurs, so they'll be up for it on Saturday.
That's the more reason why they're gonna want to beat us.
I
but
don't
also
see.
remember they don't have Kudus.
Yeah, that
Literally.
doesn't mean anything, man. I don't see. Just going off of history, right? Look, like y'all know, I'm Eric Tenagian, but again, the same thing that's happened previous years is still happening, right? We win a game, everyone's excited, and we go next weekend, and we lose or draw. So let's not get overexcited about this week. West Ham is not going to be an easy game. West Ham away, even if Kudos is out, the team, I still think it's going to be a challenging game.
If we finish our
I do
chances,
not-
we'll be a better team, I swear.
That's if we keep saying if. Do we even really create a lot of those like good chances? In my opinion, I don't think so.
I think
And looking at the way we've been playing, we don't like. Let's say if we do, I mean, are we good enough to be finishing those chances? It's the good
we
question.
should be at
Exactly.
that level, yes.
You see what I'm
should
saying?
be.
We should, because
I'll tell you what I
been-
learned yesterday.
Yeah.
The way Erasmus scored that goal, last season he would just blasted it at the keeper.
So
This
the last
season,
time that we won-
I saw him
So
dink it.
wait. Let's see him do it again
Yes.
and again.
I have Ken's
right?
stats for it now.
And
the
then
last
you
time
can
that we
say-
beat West
Same.
Ham,
2024.
2021, 19 September.
2021.
So what about 4th of Feb 2024?
That was at Old
Manchester
Trafford.
Yeah. Oh, you're asking about away.
London
Yeah,
Stadium.
well, yeah.
London.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we all know this United team. Once you put them under pressure, especially away from home, they all
They'll
shut
buckle.
everyone first, including
Yeah.
the manager. The manager starts looking and shaking his head. He doesn't know what's going on.
I don't think
Anyway,
the manager freezes him. I think a lot of
I know- I'm-
players.
Fibonacci, interesting fact, head to head, we've only played them 4 times and we're currently 2 wins and 2 losses. So
Even.
we're equal, 2-2. So this will be a decider.
This will be
We're
a
definitely
decider.
not winning both of those games. That's for sure. We're not going to win West Ham. and Fenerbahce. I would bet anything on it. We won't win those. We
So
won't win both games.
did Ken just send you a quick text just now?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No. I'm just being realistic. I'm
I
being
know,
realistic.
I'm
No,
mate, I'm
I'm not.
messing with you.
Yeah,
I'm messing with you. I
Well,
just said,
you
Bems
are,
is
but
right.
I'm being
If
realistic.
you follow United, well, every time we come up with a hysteric moment, everyone's like, "Yeah, we're back." We fall back down to earth. That's just what we
Yeah.
do.
Is the lack of
Nobody's saying
consistency.
we're back.
Yeah.
But you
Nobody's saying
see,
we're back.
Yeah.
for consistency, there has to also be belief, hope, and mental toughness to believe we can get it. And if they're not mentally tough enough to believe in themselves, because when you keep missing chances, it's not our day, all right, it's not our day. You need to keep peppering and don't
And
give up. That was the only difference between the teams we've had in the past.
these
They
players,
don't
these players don't
stop.
care that much, man. Tim, these
Yeah,
players don't care that much, man. Let's be honest. They
true.
don't care as much as we the fans. They don't care as much as we would expect them to care. The last time players cared were back in the Fergie days. These players now they don't care that much.
Yeah, I heard. Like I said, we heard they go back in their Ferraris into the mansions and to
Exactly.
return to training the next morning like nothing
Enjoy,
happened.
enjoy. Yep.
Yeah. Right, gentlemen, been an absolute pleasure. Another great show today. We have some big games coming up and we're going to talk about it. Some of you said we're going to lose to Fenerbahce. Some said we're going to result. Some said we're going to draw. Some said we're going to beat West Ham. Some said we can't beat West Ham. But this time next week, God willing, we shall see and talk about, did we get hammered through the 2 weeks, the 2 games? Or did we win the 2 games? Or did we draw the 2 games? And in what manner? We'll discuss it from all of us. I want to thank Devin. I want to thank Joe. I want to thank Benz. I want to thank the UK crew. I want to thank Vim and Mr. Fortress for being honest, saying that, you know what, he's not going to be deceived. He will not. He said he will not be deceived. He said, I will not be deceived, which I get it. Oh, that's fine. And Joe and David, Joe and Ken, you can carry on your debate in the chat. We are all the viewers just watching. We'll subscribe to 2 of you, just 2 of you going back about. You might throw Bems, throw Vim in the mix. So
Yeah, just
against 2 USA.
Everybody switch over to the next channel. Is going to be Joe versus Kenneth. Who's a real fan?
You get Vim. You
The
get
debate
Vim.
continues.
You Vim and
Modern day
Bems in the-
Revolutionary War, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, let's go.
Right,
Bring it.
gentlemen, thank you
Bring
very
it.
much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and you guys
Thanks,
are
Tim.
part of the channel. Please like what you contributed. Thank you very
Yes,
much. Have a
definitely.
great week.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice
Bye,
week.
guys.
Bye.